Hey again, Clare. Welcome to your Celtic cross spread reading. Now with 110% more joey. The Queen of Cups fell out as I was shuffling, and you know what that means. The best part is that the first card always represents you, the one the reading is for. It's your current state of mind about a given situation. Card number 2 is your cross. It's the immediate challenges, obstacles and lessons showing up in your life now. Card number 3 is the past. It's all the crap that led up to what's currently unfolding in your life. Card 4 is the future, the likely trajectory of the next few weeks to months. Card 5 is above, your hopes, dreams and aspirations. It's the most favorable potential outcome of whatever issues are plaguing you now. Card 6 is below, the underlying subconscious motivations, traumas and fears that are guiding you without your conscious knowledge. Card 7's the advice card, what your spirit guides think would be your best path forward, to reap the most benefit for you. Card 8 is external influences that will affect the likely outcome, which is outside your scope of control. Card 9 is your hopes and fears, which are very closely linked with your goals and aspirations. Forgive me, I'll reposition the camera in a minute. Card 10 is the final outcome. It indicates if, and how the situation will resolve, and what impact it'll have in the long term for your life. Now, you didn't ask me anything specific, but this is showing me a lot. So here's where things get interesting. Hey, check it out, you can see the cards now. I'll get better at this, I promise. The Queen of Cups tells me you've been actively trying to work on your bad habits and toxic emotions. You're trying to heal. And I'm super proud of you, because I know it isn't easy. You've been struggling to keep grounded, and that's normal. She came to us on her higher polarity, which means it isn't going too badly, you're on the right track. Your cross card is the 3 of Pentacles, which is about working in concert with others, but I always read the cross card as ill-dignified. This tells me that you've been relying on others for grounding and they aren't showing up for you the way you need them to. This makes you feel unstable and abandoned, and perhaps you've even been willing to cross your own boundaries to reel them in. The 4 of Pentacles is also ill-dignified, which tells me that while you want things around you to change, you're terrified of those changes coming to pass, and you're well aware of this. The schism has been costing you a lot of grief. You also may be clinging to dysfunctional or unhelpful methods for getting the outcomes you're looking for, because of unhealthy attachments to those methods. You can't let go of what you need to, so that new things can take their place. The King of Swords is a no-nonsense, cut-through-the bullshit energy. He wants you to use your discernment to see past your trauma distortions. He came to us on his ill-dignified lower polarity, which shows me that hasn't been working out well for you. The below card is all subconscious, so perhaps you're trying to be happier, healthier and more in the moment, but you can't, and it isn't clear to you why. 100% it's the trauma distortions. Learn to talk yourself down from proverbial ledges, purify your mind of negative thoughts, and abusive inner dialogue. This is where the king wants you to start. In your past you've had to think on your feet a lot, and you're very good at it. You aren't merely smart, you're clever, because you've had no other choice. This card indicates that there have been forces actively opposing and sabotaging you. You're still in this win the war at any cost mentality, even if no enemy exists. This mentality may no longer serve you. Put the war on the back burner for a bit. You can't enjoy the beauty and glory of now, if you're still mentally on the battlefield. The Knights are action cards, and Pentacles are of the physical realm. This can even very well point to your physical body. The bottom line is that what you sow, you'll reap. If you live in a messy environment, your mental health will be bad. If you're always in fight or flight mode, your vessel will wear out. If you focus on enemies, you miss potential friends. Health is just a series of healthy habits. Develop the habits and you'll reap health. What you plant and water will grow. The advice card is the Hermit, ill-dignified. This is a dire warning that you must look back on your previous lessons, examine and really learn from them, or you risk repeating the same mistakes and falling into the same traps as before. The Hermit is the wisdom of your higher self, the innate wisdom of the soul we all have. Seek out that inner guidance. It isn't the loud booming voice of your fear or your ego, but the tiniest voice that you almost can't hear and are tempted to ignore. The Three of Wands, ill-dignified in the context of forces outside your control affecting your life, has been interesting to decipher and part of what's been holding up the production of this reading, as we can glean several meanings from this placement. Air in the third house doubles the mercurial influence. The Three of Wands, ill-dignified by itself, represents conceit, arrogance and insolence. Failed business partnerships, discord at work, and gaining power through deceptive means. I pulled a clarification card on 2 separate occasions and got the Ace of Wands, ill-dignified, both times. This leads me to the conclusion that the lack of inspiration and inability to gain a fresh start is being blocked by your own mental suffering, rather than any bullshit coming from other people. Does that make sense? If you've got people around who want to distract and upset you, to throw you off your game and sabotage your success, and if you are wounded and easily upset, you're going to give them what they're looking for every time. The poverty card in the hopes and fears position is not surprising to me. Material conditions are something we as leftists are preoccupied with to an unhealthy degree. But the Five of Pentacles is especially difficult because of the symbology involved. That bell is something lepers used to wear. They were ostracized from society due to fear. He and his friend are so deep in their misery, they're walking right by the light of the church without noticing. Help is potentially right there, if they'd stop feeling sorry for themselves for 5 seconds and look up. The Tarot Association did a massive poll and apparently the Hierophant was voted the least liked card of all tarot readers worldwide, which I think is wild. They are a teacher, available to us as a way shower. The name itself means revealer of sacred things, which I would have assumed would be a desirable thing in this community. Anyway, the outcome of this situation, if steps are not taken to remedy it, is the Hierophant, ill-dignified. This essentially points to ignored signs, misused power, and all the shadow aspects of the church we're so familiar with, including sweeping stuff under the rug, covering for wrongdoing with more lies, or even giving into base animalistic urges due to the pressures of abstainment. This also checks out when I compare the clarification cards I pulled to supplement this reading. The Devil, telling you that actually, what you see really is all there is. You're stuck and going to be miserable forever, inflaming your yang energy, getting you trapped in your own head and causing all kinds of unnecessary suffering, including the poverty consciousness we see both in the 8th card, and the ill-dignified Empress card. This all shows me a person who doesn't know how to nurture themselves, and continues looking for it in their external world. I'm sorry if this comes off harsh. I want you to get the fulfillment you need, but you won't find it anywhere outside of you. You have to learn to be supportive and nurturing to yourself. So the Hierophant, if you look at their hand mudra, is telling you that what you see isn't all there is. But the Devil is telling you it is. The question for you now is, which one are you going to believe? Take as long as you need. I'll be here, as will the wisdom and self-compassion inside of you.